Wyndham Clark might as well be called Wyndham Kook at this point because my brother is smoking on that Tej pack. Holy. This man showed up at the Truist Championship this week with the most eccentric set of golf clubs I can remember seeing. Driver is a Titleist GT3 with just a hunk of lead tape on the heel. What is that, like 10 grams? I guess he missed the fact that they have an entire weight port in the front of this driver. Now, I could not possibly call this an eccentric what's in the bag without a mini driver. We've got an OG burner mini 13.5 at 12 3/4. This is a strong fella, so surely he likes to have a stronger lofted secondary teeing option. Or maybe he doesn't, because he also has a secondary teeing option, which is a QI10 3HL high launch 16.5 with, what is that, 7/10 of a gram of lead tape? Okay, he probably swaps those depending on the golf course. I get it. But my brother usually shows up with this Mizuno Pro Fly High 2 iron with the Dynamic Gold X7, so I would think it's still there. No. This week, he did a total 180 and went for the 9-wood. 24-degree 9-wood. Okay, that is weird, but surely he is going to continue to use his custom prototype 632.DUB 1-of-1 irons that Titleist spent, I don't know, 5 or 10 grand making him. Surely not. T200's 3-5 iron. But those are just the long irons. This is where the story gets interesting because he won the US Open with a full set of 620 CBs. Switches to T100s because they were giving him better numbers. Then has these customs made by Titleist. And the customs are pretty simple. The 5 iron has tungsten in the sole to add launch. And from my understanding, the 6 iron CB and 7 iron through 9 iron MBs were essentially the same loft as the 620s, but with less offset. But this week he showed up in the short irons with a set of clubs that looks like I made them in my garage. They are 620 CBs bent 3 degrees weak. So he can hit the lofts and in turn spin numbers of the T100s, but take away some offset and adds a little bit of bounce, which is good for him because he kind of swings down and left at it. Then they ground off the number and stamped it with the new club number. Wedges, interesting too. He has a 44-degree Vokey pitching wedge, which I believe is bent weak, and it also has a leading edge grind. Then he's got a 50-08F gap wedge with a custom leading edge grind as well. But of course, it's not as simple as that because the pitching wedge and gap wedge are both stamped with HB, which I think stands for high bounce, but I don't know how they customized them. Sand wedge is a 54-10S bent to 55, but it's different than it normally is, because this week it looks like they do not have a leading edge grind on this one. And the lobber straight up has me confused, but I want to think I figured it out. He normally plays a custom A grind, but then why wouldn't he just have another A? It's because I think this is some crazy custom again. If you look closely, it looks like this slopes off pretty aggressively in the back, and it looks like there is a narrow front section. Everything was just ground off and smooth, so I think, and I could be wrong, this is a T grind with the ribbon removed. And finally, he has 2 putters in the bag because of course he does. A Jailbird 380, which apparently didn't weigh enough, and a Scotty Cameron Phantom T11.